Welcome all of you. This is your 12th lecture in the series of online lectures. Welcome to my class. You are learning Economics Standard 12 Maharashtra Board HSC Board. So far we have completed 2 lessons and currently we are learning lesson number 3A, that is demand analysis. What we learnt in our last lecture? In our last lecture we have covered law of demand, exceptions to the law of demand, which were given on page number 23. And what we are learning in this lecture? In this lecture we are continuing demand analysis and we are learning variations in demand and changes in demand with respect to law of demand. See, this is my most favorite subject, and for your kind information, this topic has many variations. This can be learnt in depth also. When you will go to the senior college, it will be there in depth for your syllabus. And this is a very interesting subject, and this is going to be useful for everywhere if you are going to decide the future in economics or accountancy. See, because it has lots of uses, variations in demand and changes in demand. As it is my favorite subject, I am also going to teach you in depth. This is given on page number 23 and 24. See, if we are learning law of demand, what should be learnt? We have covered statements and definition of law of demand, demand schedule, demand curve, explanation with help of demand schedule and demand curve, explanation of what? Definition of law of demand. Then we have seen some assumptions which are related to law of demand, then some exceptions of law of demand, and now we are going to cover the last topic, that is variations in demand and changes in demand. Okay, see, first of all, let's revive the law of demand first. What is law of demand? The law of demand was introduced by Professor Alfred Marshall in his famous book Principles of Economics. See, this is that book, which was published in 1890. The law explains the functional relationship between price and quantity demanded. Alfred Marshall was an economist. Okay, he has explained the law of demand. What does this law of demand says? See, according to Professor Alfred Marshall, other things remains constant. See, this is the most important thing, and with reference to this concept only we are going to learn further. Other things remaining constant or other things being equal, higher the price of a commodity, smaller the quantity demanded, and the lower the price of the commodity, larger is the quantity demanded. See, this is the basic law of demand. See, higher the price of the commodity, in every topic we are discussing the same. Higher the price of the commodity, lower will be the quantity demanded. Okay, and lower the price of the commodity, higher will be the quantity demanded. This is the basic law of demand. Okay, established by whom? Established by Professor Alfred Marshall. In other words, other factors remaining constant. See, when this law is established, when other factors are remaining constant, okay, then and then only if the price of a commodity rises, see, if the price rises, demand for it falls, and when the price of a commodity falls, demand for the commodity rises. See, this is the basic law of demand, and what it suggests an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. Why inverse? Because the direction of both of them are opposite to each other. Okay, both are not running in the same direction. Okay, price and quantity are not running in the same direction. That's why both are not proportional to each other. Both are inversely proportional to each other. Okay, price is inversely proportional with the quantity demanded. Okay, that we have seen with the function. See, what is law of demand? See, for that we had taken the example which had given in the book, and what it suggests, what it explains. See, the law of demand, this is the curve of the law of demand, the demand curve. And with the increase in the price, there is decrease in the demand. And with the decrease in the price, there is increase in the demand. With this schedule and with this curve, we have already learnt what is law of demand and how it is proved. But with some assumptions. Okay, see, a law of demand can be proved true only if we consider some assumptions. See, which were these assumptions? The assumptions were the income level of the consumer must remain constant. The income must not change. Okay, there should not be change in the size of the population. Population also must remain same. Prices of the substitute goods remains constant. Which are the substitute goods? See, that also we have seen. Prices of the complementary goods also remains constant. Then, which are the substitute goods? For example, tea or coffee, sugar or jaggery. Complementary goods means the goods which are joint goods. For example, matchsticks and firecrackers. No expectations about the future changes in prices means people should not expect that there should be changes in prices in the future. No changes in taste, habits, preferences and fashions also. Taste means likings. The people's likings, habits, preferences also should not change. People should always like the same things which they were liking in the past. And there should not be change in the taxation policy of the government. Okay, if all these variables, actually these are variables. Why? Because they varies, because they changes. See, all of these factors can change. That's why those are called as variables. But if you want to prove the law of demand, what we are assuming that these factors are not changing. Okay, these factors are remaining constants. The law of demand can be proved only if these factors, variable factors, are remaining constant. Okay, so this is the base of the concept which we are going to learn now. See, law of demand is based on the assumptions only which it stands true or establishes or applicable. Only upon the assumptions it stands true and it is applicable. Now, what we are going to learn today? See, when demand changes, so far we have learned, according to Alfred Marshall, when there is change in price, the demand changes. If there is increase in the price, there is decrease in the demand, and with the decrease in the price, there is increase in the demand. So according to Alfred Marshall, he assumes all the factors are remaining constant, then only the demand changes. Only which factor he considers? Price. He considers only the price factor. Now, what is the variation in demand? When the demand varies or when the demand changes. See, this demand varies and changes also. But there is difference between variation and difference between changes in demand. What does this mean? We'll go in technicality. See, variation in demand refers to the changes in demand when the demand changes due to changes in price only. Other factors remaining constant. See, when variation happens, when only the price changes, what we have learnt already, when only the price changes, then the demand changes. Then it is called as variation of demand, okay, which we have already learnt in detail. Okay, there are two types of variations in demand, that is extension in demand and contraction in demand, that we are going to learn today. The types of change in demand. See, with the price increases, demand goes down. With the price decreases, demand goes up. See, this is the variation, change in demand. Sometimes demand increases, sometimes demand decreases, but that was dependent only on price. Okay, when this change in demand is depend on only one factor, that is price factor, then it is called as variation in demand. Okay, and when we think variation of demand, there are again two subtypes of variation in demand. Which are those two subtypes? Extension in demand and contraction in demand. Don't worry, we are going to learn in detail. Okay, and when there is variation in demand, the moment, what happens with the demand curve? See, this is the regular demand curve. Okay, what happens with the demand curve? The demand curve is upward and downward along the same demand curve. See, when there is variation, the demand curve goes upward or downward. The movement, there is only the movement. Okay, movement along the demand curve only. It may go upward or it may go downward with reference to a fixed point or with reference to the earlier demand curve. Okay, but what is the different thing? What is called as changes in demand See, changes in demand is exactly opposite to the variation in demand. With variation demand, which is the most important factor? Price. Okay. With the change in price, demand changes. It may rise or it may go down. But changes in demand doesn't consider price. Okay. There is change in demand, but not with relevant to price. See, changes in demand occurs when quantity demanded changes due to changes in factors other than price. Okay, when there is change in the demand, but when price is not considered, that is called as changes in demand. Okay, so this is the basic distinction between variation in demand and changes in demand. There are two types of changes in demand. Which are those two types? Increase in demand and decrease in demand. Okay, and when there is change in the demand, see, this is the regular normal demand curve. When there is a change in demand due to other factors, what happens? It shifts. Okay, there is no movement. It shifts either upward or downward. Okay, this was the earlier demand curve. Due to change in demand, the demand curve shift either upward or downward. This is the basic difference between variation in demand and changes in demand. Variation in demand occurs only due to the change in price and no any other factor is considered. Whereas changes in demand happens only due to the factors, any factor other than price. Okay, so this is the basic difference between variation in demand and changes in demand. Changes in demand is also called a shift in demand because demand curve, this was the earlier demand curve shifts. And here demand curve remains same, but it moves. There is only the movement. Okay, movement means it goes either upward or it comes or downward. Only the movement in the demand curve. Now let's see, learn in detail. The variations in demand occurs when the determinants in demand change. The determines the demand? There are some factors which determines the demands, right? See, when we say that there is variation in demand, means demand changes depending upon the factors which determines the demand. Okay, that's why it is called as the variation in demand occurs. When it occurs, when the determinants changes. Okay, determinants to determine the demand changes, then only there is the variation. Now, which are the determinants of demand? First of all, just revise once. Which are the determinants of demands? See, there are total 11 determinants of demand we have learnt. Out of that, one determinant of demand, that is the most important determinant of demand, is price. Okay, and law of demand stands true when it considers price only. So it is based on the price only. So the most important determinant of demand is price. When the price changes, demand changes. And other 10 determinants other than price are called as non-price determinant of demand. Okay, these are also the determinant of demand, but those are non-price determinant of demand, and this is price, which is the determinant of demand. And which are the non-price determinant of demand? Means which are the other variables? Income of the consumer, prices of the substitute goods, price of the complementary goods, nature of product, size of population, expectations about the future prices means change in future prices, advertisement impact, taste means likes, habits, fashions, preferences of the people changing, level of taxation, and other factors. Other factors are also there, culture, tradition, right? So these are the non-price determinants. See, these also determine the demand. Okay, but price is not involved over here. And first component, that is price. So these are 11 determinants of demand. Okay, and what we are learning, there is variation in demand, change in demand when these determinants change. Okay, when these determinants change, there are two types of determinants: price determinant and non-price determinant. There are two types of variations in demand. The type of variation depends upon the factors or determinants of demand. Okay, it depends upon the factors or determinants of demand. Okay. The type of factors which affect or determine the demand. There are types of factors. See, variation in demand happens when quantity demanded changes due to change in price only. When quantity demanded changes, when there is change in price only. Okay. And when other factors, that is non-price determinant of demand, remains constant. Okay. It is called as variation in demand. And what is change or shift in demand? When quantity demanded changes, means there is change in demand due to change in other factors, that is non-price determinant factor, non-price determinant. Okay. Non-price determinants of demand. Okay. Like, which are the non-price determinant of demand? That is change or increase in the, change means what? There can be increase as well as there can be decrease. Change can be anything. Change or increase in first non-price determinant was income of the consumer. Then change in price of the substitute or complementary goods, effect of advertisement on the people's mind, increase or decrease in population, change in taste, hobbies, fashions of people, increase or decrease, that is change in taxes, etc. When the price remains constant, that time the price is constant and the changes are there in the non-price determinant, that then it is called as change or shift in demand. Okay. Then it is called as change or shift in demand. See, with this diagram, it is very easy to understand the variation in demand and change or shift in demand. See, there are two types of demand. Some demands are dependent on the price. Those are called as price determinants demand. And some are non-price determinants demand. Non-price determinants means the determinant which are not price but other than price. And these are the price determinant. When the demand changes, when there is a variation in demand due to price, it is called as variation in demand. Okay. And when there is change in demand due to other components other than price, that is non-price determinant, then it is called as change or shift in demand. Okay. See, this is the basic difference. And when there is variation in demand due to change in price, see, variation in demand due to change in price, then it can be of two types, either expansion in demand or contraction in demand. Okay. And when there is change or shift in demand due to other components, then it can be either increase in demand or decrease in demand. Okay. So these are the four basic subtypes of two types: variation demand and change in demand. Variation demand occurs when there is change in demand due to price, and change or shift in demand occurs when there is change in demand due to other than price component. Okay. So this is the basic difference. These are due to change in price and these are due to change in other factors, that is non-price determinants. I hope now you will understand it forever. Now, what is variation in demand? When the demand for a commodity falls or rises due to a change in price alone. See, when the demand for a commodity falls or rises only due to the change in price and other factors are remaining constant, then it is called as variations in demand. See, when quantity demanded changes due to change in price only and when other factors, that is non-price determinants of demand, remains constant, it is called as variations in demand. When the demand for a commodity falls or rises due to a change in price alone and other factors remains constant, it is called as variations in demand. And what happens? See, the basic, what was the change in demand you have seen? When the increase in the price, there is the decrease in the demand. Or when there is decrease in the price, there is an increase in the demand. Here only there is a variation, right? This is one type and this is another type. See, you have already seen this variation. Okay, so the basic concept of law of demand. Law of demand is based on this concept only. The demand changes when there is change in price. So the basic or fundamental concept of law of demand remains same with the variation of demand. Okay, with the variation in demand, basic fundamental concepts remain same. But variation in quantity demanded, right, with the increase or decrease in the price reflects the direction of movement on the same demand curve. See what happens? It depends. Now what we are thinking about quantity demanded. Okay, variation in quantity demanded, that we are learning in detail. With what? With respect to increase or decrease in price. See, when the price increases or decreases, there is variation in the quantity demanded. It reflects the direction of movement. What it reflects? Direction of movement on the same demand curve. Demand curve remains same. Okay, demand curve is same, which you have learnt in law of demand, but there is direction of movement on the same demand curve due to increase in the price or and due to the decrease in the price. Okay, there is direction. See, while we are learning law of demand in detail, it was explained with the help of demand schedule and demand curve, right? So what we saw on demand curve, the slope, downward slope. See, this downward slope of law of demand remains same, but with the change in demand, it moves from its direction only moves. Okay, so there is only the, it reflects, this variation in demand reflects only the direction of movement on the same demand curve. Demand curve remains same. That is movement of equilibrium point. What happens? See, this is the demand curve. This, and what is the equilibrium point? The corresponding point with the corresponding quantity demanded. With the price with the corresponding quantity demanded, we get a equilibrium point. Okay, this is an equilibrium point. This equilibrium point either moves upward or moves downward along the same demand curve. See, this is that demand curve which you have learnt in law of demand. This demand curve remains same because there is only the change in price, which you have already learnt while learning law of demand. This demand curve remains same, but this equilibrium point moves either upward or downward with reference to increase in price or decrease in price. Okay, this equilibrium point, there is movement along this equilibrium point only. That is the locus point. That is corresponding quantity demand. See, this is the quantity demand and along the same demand curve. Means there is only change in the direction of the demand curve. When we learn the variation in demand, there is only the direction of the demand, change in the movement of the demand curve. Okay, only the direction changes. See, with this table, it is very easy to understand. Now, which kinds of variations in demand are there? Which are the subtypes of variations in demand? There are two subtypes. That is expansion in demand, that is also called as extension in demand. Either expansion in demand or extension in demand. See, expansion in demand or extension in demand or increase in demand. We can call it by any of the three words. Okay, expansion or extension in demand, or contraction or decrease in demand. Okay, we can also call it as contraction or decrease in demand. See, it depends upon the price only. Okay, price determinants. See, when, what is this? See, when you see there is this demand curve moves downward. See, this is the demand curve. This demand curve moves downward to right. Demand curve means this equilibrium point. Earlier this was, suppose this was the earlier equilibrium point. Now due to change in price, when the demand, this equilibrium point moves downward to the right. See, this is the right compared to the earlier. Earlier was this point. Suppose we consider this as the earlier point. So it is right. So downward right. When the demand, there is movement along the demand curve from left to right to the downward side. It is due to the expansion or extension in demand. Okay, and when there is upward, okay, when there is upward, when there is this is the equilibrium point, when there is upward shift or upward movement along the demand curve, that is due to the contraction in demand, that is decrease in demand. Okay, what is increase in demand? So these are dependent on the price, that's why those are called as price determinants. Increase in demand due to rise or increase in the price of the commodity, that is less quantity of the commodity is demanded at the increased price. See, when the price increases, quantity demanded is less, and when there is contraction in demand, that is called as decrease in demand due to fall or decrease in the price. When the price falls, more quantity of the commodity is demanded, quantity demanded increases. Okay, it is more of quantity of the commodity is demanded at the decreased price, price is decreased. Okay, when the demand for a commodity falls or rises due to a change in price alone and other factors remains constant, it is called as variation in demand. It is of two types. Which are the two types? Expansion of demand and contraction of demand. Okay, expansion of demand or and contraction of demand. See, what is expansion of demand? Expansion of demand refers to rise in the quantity demanded due to fall in price alone, only due to the fall in price, while other factors like taste, incomes of the consumer, size of the population, etc. remain unchanged. When the other factors we have to ignore, okay, and we have to just consider price. When there is rise or fall in the price, the quantity demanded changes. Okay, and when, see, refers to the rise in the quantity, when quantity demanded rises due to the fall in price, right? When there is a, see, quantity demanded, expansion of quantity, expansion of demand refers to the rise in quantity demanded. See, this is the demand rises, increases due to the fall in price. See, the price is falling down. As the quantity demanded increases, it is referring only the quantity demanded. Okay, quantity demanded increases, this is the upward going. Okay, as the quantity demanded increases, it is called as expansion. Okay, when other factors are ignored. See, this demand curve moves in downward direction on the same demand curve, that is from left to right. Okay, see, this word is not printed in the book, please make the corrections in the book. This curve word is not printed, write this curve word in your book, and here you can write in bracket, demand curve moves in downward direction on the same demand curve from left to right. Means if this was the original demand curve, okay, when there is decrease in price, then what happens? See, when there is a rise, demand curve rises due to due to rise in quantity demanded due to fall in price. When the price falls, suppose this was the earlier equilibrium point, when the price falls, the new equilibrium point is here. It means there is increase in demand. Okay, so the demand, what happened with the demand curve now? It, see, the demand curve moves in downward direction on the same demand curve from left to, earlier it was left and it is now right, only when there is increase in demand. Okay, due to fall in price, there is increase in demand. What you have to consider? This direction. This is quantity demanded, no, on the x-axis, increase in demand from left to right. See, this is explained with the help of following figure 3.7. See, what is shown on this figure? See, figure 3.7. See, what is shown on the x-axis? It is quantity demanded is shown, quantity demanded in kgs is shown on the x-axis, and price in rupees is shown on the y-axis. And now, see, you can see over here, when the price was rupees p, okay, when the earlier price was rupees p, then the quantity demanded was a kgs. Okay, we can say like this: the quantity demanded was a kgs. Okay, now the price fall down. Okay, and the price now reached to p1. Okay, and when the price is p1, people bought, when the price came down, so people bought more quantity, so they bought more quantity from earlier quantity q1. Now they bought more quantity up to q1, and when the price fall p to p1, quantity demanded increased from q to q1, and the equilibrium point was achieved here. That point was point b. Okay, now this was the demand curve, right? This was the demand curve. And what happened with the demand curve? Earlier equilibrium point was A, and now equilibrium point became B. So what happened along the demand curve? Demand curve shifted downwards from left to right. Demand curve shifted means this position of equilibrium point moved, right? Position of this equilibrium point moved from left to right, downward on the same demand curve. Okay, this happened because the decrease in the price, quantity demanded increased. As shown in figure 3.7, DD, see, this is DD is the demand curve. A downward movement on, there is a downward movement on the same demand curve from point A to point B, right? Same movement on the same demand curve, there is a movement of equilibrium point from A to B. That indicates expansion of demand. Why expansion of demand? Because demand has increased from these much of kgs to more kgs. Okay, see, for that I have prepared a graph for you. Okay, I'll explain it with the example. See, expansion of demand. Okay, now price, I have taken the example of onions. Okay, because onion is a good example whose prices changes varies very frequently. See, the price in Indian rupees per kg of onions is given, and quantity demanded in kgs of the onion is given. Now see, if the price of the onion was 40 rupees per kg, two notes of 20 rupees I have shown. If the price of the onion was 40 rupees per kg, then only a bag of 1 kg onion were brought, right? People bought only 1 kg of onion. Now, if the price decreased and came down to 20 rupees only, so what people had to do? People had to spend only a single note of 20 rupees. So what people did? They bought 2 bags of 1 kg, right? See, they bought 2 bags of 1 kg. Means I can consider, or 2 bags. They bought, when the price was 40, they bought 4 kgs. And when the price came down rupees 20, they bought 8 kgs, right? See, when the price decreased, the demand increased. Okay, now see, as shown in figure 3.7, the demand curve now we will see. Okay, I will show you. This is the graph paper, and along the x-axis there is quantity demanded in kgs, and along the y-axis there is price in rupees. Now see what happens when the price is rupees 40, the quantity demanded is 4 kg, and we achieved the equilibrium point A. Now the price came down to rupees 20, the new price is P1, and so the quantity demanded increased to 8 kgs, that is Q1, and the new equilibrium point that we got is point B. And if we draw a demand curve, that is demand curve DD, what we found? That there is an increase in the demand curve. See, this is an increase. Okay, and this increase is called as expansion in the demand curve. Okay, see, this is the expansion of demand. Now, exactly opposite to it is contraction of demand. What is contraction of demand? Contraction of demand refers to fall in demand due to rise in price alone. Okay, when the price rises, that we have many times seen this example, when there is rise in the price, there is decrease in the quantity demanded. Okay, only we are considering price. Contraction of demand refers to fall in demand. See, this is the fall in demand due to rise in price alone. Price is rising. Other factors like taste, income of the consumer, size of the population, etc. remain unchanged because other factors are not considered. Those are assumed when we want to establish the law of demand. The demand curve moves in the upward direction on the same demand curve. Demand curve moves means equilibrium point, the direct movement of the equilibrium point on the same demand curve is on the upward direction on the same demand curve. Upward direction means from right to left. You can write this in your book in the bracket, from right to left. See, this is the contraction of demand. What happens? See, when the price was P earlier, the quantity demanded was Q. Okay, when the price was P, the quantity demanded was Q. Now the price increased. See, the price increased from P to P2, from price P rupees to price P2 rupees. Then what happened? As the price increased, people demanded less quantity, so they bought less quantity Q2 on the same demand curve. See, because it is 0 and it is the rising side. Okay, so this is the numbers increases along this x-axis, right? And similarly along numbers increases along the y-axis, and this is the origin 0 0. See, the earlier quantity demanded was this much when the price was a specific rupees. When the price increased from P to point P2, what happened? The quantity demanded decreased. It came closer to 0. Okay, from quantity Q to quantity Q2. And now the new equilibrium point was A. Earlier equilibrium point was B. So if we draw this demand curve, what we found? This position of the equilibrium point moved from right to left. See, because curve is moving this side, the position, there is a movement along the demand curve. You have to remember these words. Movement, when there is variation in demand, there is movement along the demand curve of the equilibrium point. The movement of the demand curve changed from varied from right to left in upward direction. Okay, in the upward direction. See, as shown in figure 3.8, DD is a demand curve. See, this is the DD is the demand curve. An upward movement on the same demand curve from point B to point A shows the contraction of demand. See, why it is called as contraction? Why? Because the quantity demanded contracted and earlier quantity demanded expanded. Okay, that's why it is called as contraction of demand. See, it is shown over here, which I will explain with the example. See this example. See what is shown on this table, which data is shown with the contraction of demand. In one column, price in Indian rupees per kg of onion is shown, and in the other column, quantity demanded in kgs for the onions is shown. Now see, when the price was rupees 20, people demanded a quantity of 8 kgs onion. See, 4 bags of 2 kgs they have purchased. Okay, now when the price of the onion became 40 rupees, they had to pay 2 notes of rupees 20. Then what they thought? They thought of buying only one bag of 4 kgs of onion. So what happened? There was decrease in the demand, right? From 2 bags of onion of 4 kgs each to one bag of onion of 4 kg, 4 kg only. So there is decrease in the demand, that is contraction. Demand contracted due to increase in the price. What is happening? Price is increasing. That's why demand is decreasing. Okay. See, as shown in figure 3.8, DD is a demand curve. An upward, see, which I will show you. An upward movement on the same demand curve from point B to point A shows the contraction of demand. Now see, earlier the price was rupees 20 only, and that time the demand was quantity Q 8 kg. Okay, and if we got the join the lines, then we got the equilibrium point B. Okay, now what happened? The price increased and changed to rupees 40, means price would change from price P to P2. Then what happened? The quantity demanded changed and became lesser, and it became only 4 kgs. That is, it shifted to from Q to Q2. Okay, and when we join the points, the equilibrium points, equilibrium, we got the equilibrium point as A. And when we draw the demand curve, joining the locus points B and A, what we got? We got a demand curve DD. And what we found? When the price increase, the quantity demanded decrease. Means what? There is decrease in the quantity demanded, and it is shown on the upward direction, right? It is shown on the upward direction. This is the movement from point B to point A is in upward direction from right. So this was the right to left. Okay, so this much is what? This much is the actual change in demand. Okay, variation in demand. Now what happened actually with this? When the price is P, the corresponding quantity demanded is Q. Okay, and the equilibrium point is B. When the price rises, goes up from point P to P2, the corresponding quantity demanded decreases from Q to Q2. Then the equilibrium or locus points we get, that is A. When we join the two reflective equilibrium points, these are the two reflective equilibrium points, we get a BA sloping line. Which line we got? BA. Okay, BA is the sloping line which we joined the two equilibrium points with respect to the change in prices and change in demand. Okay, now what this line shows, what this line reflects, which shows the decrease in the demand. We find decrease in the demand on the same demand curve, that is the demand curve, which is sloping in left direction from right to left direction. So it is called as contraction of demand. There is contraction in demand because demand has narrowed. Okay, demand got narrowed because it going closer to zero. Okay, demand got narrowed because demand got decreased from 8 kgs to 40 kgs. That is decrease or fall in demand, which reflects in the direction of the points from B to A. That's why we see it is a contraction of demand. Okay, see, there is movement along the demand curve. Okay, so this was the earlier point. If we consider the price 10, okay, if the price was 10, then the quantity demanded was 55 kgs. Okay, and the equilibrium point was this. Okay, we call it as X. The equilibrium point was X when price was 10 and quantity demanded was 55. When the price increased and became rupees 12, then what happened? The quantity demanded decreased from 55 to 40, and we got the equilibrium point A. And when the price decreased from 10 rupees to 7 rupees, we got the equilibrium point 75. See, because quantity demanded increased. Okay, and we got the equilibrium point as B. Okay, now what we considered with reference to point X, okay, which we considered earlier with the law of demand. Okay, contraction was there, contraction along the demand curve when there is decrease in demand. Okay, and there is extension along the demand curve from left to right when there is increase in demand. Now understood this topic? This is a very interesting topic, and there are many variation changes, uh, subtopics are there with this reference to movement along the demand curve, which you will learn in your senior college and which will be very helpful for you for doing the great careers in economics, commerce, account fields, whatever. Okay, so I hope that your base must be confirm and clear at this level only, and I hope that you have enjoyed this lesson. You like the examples which I gave here. Okay, now what we will learn in our next lecture In our next lecture, we will cover the remaining part of this variation in demand, that is changes or shift in demand. Okay, with reference to the law of demand, which is given on page number 24. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe, and study online.